Okay, so you're watching an anime, right? It's super intense, like the world is ending, or there's a huge tournament, or someone's heart is about to get completely destroyed. The tension is like so high, you're on the edge of your seat, you're biting your nails, you have no idea what's going to happen next. And then, out of absolutely nowhere, the next episode drops, and everyone is at the beach. The main character, who was just fighting a giant space demon, is now struggling to put on sunscreen. The serious, intense, scary rival is now wearing tiny little swim trunks and a goofy sun hat. It's a total vibe shift, and it comes out of absolutely nowhere. It's one of the weirdest and, oddly enough, most predictable things in anime. I'm kind of obsessed with it. One second you're deep in the story, trying to remember who betrayed who in the last showdown. The next second, the biggest problem is that someone forgot to pack the snacks for the beach trip. It feels so random. Someone just shot a dart at a board of ideas, and it landed on sandcastles. You just sit there, staring at the screen, thinking, wait, what? Weren't they just in the middle of a life-or-death battle? It's a sudden, bizarre vacation nobody planned for, but somehow everyone packed a swimsuit. This sudden jump can be hilarious, but it's also, really kind of odd. The characters who were so stressed and serious a minute ago are now splashing each other, playing volleyball. So, what even is a beach episode? It sounds simple, but it's actually a whole formula. It's not just an episode that happens to have a beach in it. No, it's a thing. A beach episode is basically a single chapter of an anime where the main plot just, totally hits the pause button, and the whole cast suddenly takes a trip to the sea, a trip to a lake, a trip to a public pool, or sometimes a nice onsen, aka a hot springs resort. The entire mood of the show shifts. It becomes way more relaxed and less serious. The show is taking a little vacation from its own drama, and it gets you to stroll right along with it. The whole point is to give the audience and the characters a break. The setting is key, somewhere warm and summery where swimsuits make sense. The story, if there is one, is usually super low stakes. Instead of fighting bad guys, they're fighting over the last popsicle or trying to win a game of beach volleyball. It's about showing a different side of them, the side you don't see when they're busy saving the world or acing their exams. You see them just hanging out, being normal people for a change, which is kind of refreshing. Think of it like a bottle episode, which is just an episode of live-action TV made to be very cheap and contained, usually contained to one main set, but with a lot more sand and less clothing. The main story basically grinds to a halt. There might be a tiny bit of character development, like a quiet conversation between two people who don't normally talk, but mostly nothing affects the grand scheme of things. It's a self-contained little adventure, all about vibes. Sunny, lighthearted, a bit silly. It's the show saying, let's just chill for 20 minutes before we get back to the crying and the fighting and the monsters. But it's not just the beach. The episode is also structured differently. Pacing is slower. Dialogue is about everyday stuff. Less, we have to defuse this bomb. More, who put sand in my sandwich? Classic beach activities. Swimming, building sandcastles, playing in the waves, maybe fireworks at the end of the day. It's a very specific, very recognizable formula. Once you've seen a few, you can spot one from the opening scene. It's a staple of the anime diet. Okay? So, to really know if you're watching a true classic beach episode, there's a mental checklist you can go through. It's not official or anything, but these are the boxes that usually get ticked. The reason for the trip is often super flimsy, like winning a lottery for a free stay at a resort, or a school-mandated trip that just happens to be at the beach. Everyone is there together, away from their normal environment. This change of scenery is what lets them interact in new ways, The serious character might reveal a playful side, or the shy character might get a little moment of bravery. Then you have the activities. A beach episode has its own set of classic mini-games. There's almost always a scene of everyone running into the water. There's usually volleyball. You'll probably see someone trying to intensely apply sunscreen, building a sandcastle. And as the sun sets, you might get a barbecue, a test of courage in a haunted cave, or fireworks for a quiet, emotional moment. Finally, there's the whole tone of the episode. The plot, as we've said, is on vacation. The vibe is light, fun, and often a little bit goofy. But there are also two other major ingredients: fan service and a sprinkle of emotion. So, this whole beach episode thing didn't just pop up overnight. It had like a slow burn origin story. Historically speaking, before it became this big, famous trope, there were what we'll call proto-beach episodes. These were early sightings where the idea was there, but it wasn't a whole freaking ritual yet. For a long time, especially in school-based stories and romantic comedies, seaside trips were just a normal part of the story's itinerary. Summer vacation rolls around, they go on a trip, and the beach is a super popular destination. It just made sense. Writers quickly figured out the beach was useful, a neutral ground where different circles and rivals could be thrown together without it feeling forced. It lets them drop their usual guards, literally and figuratively. Away from school uniforms and daily responsibilities, you see who they really are. These early versions weren't called beach episodes, just summer trip, class excursion, but they focused on dynamics in a relaxed environment. They had the same ingredients: swimsuits, beach games, fireworks, summer festivals, just simpler. There'd be romantic tension, who sits with who on the bus, or a shy glance during the fireworks. The plot didn't really move, but you learned who was the life of the party, who was quiet, and who caused trouble. It felt like a natural school year rhythm, an organic way to pause the drama and let characters breathe. These episodes laid the groundwork, planting the seeds for what would later grow into the full-blown, instantly recognizable beach episode trope that we all know and, let's be real, that we love to make fun of. Then we get to what you could call the codification era, late 80s through the 90s, when the beach episode went from sometimes to totally standard. Especially in long-running shonen series and romantic comedies, it started to feel like a requirement. If a show lasted more than a dozen episodes, you could bet a beach special, or pool or hot springs special, was coming. Fans expected it. It became a running joke in the community. There were super practical reasons. For weekly schedules, a beach episode was a lifesaver. It buffered timelines, helped manage budgets and story production pipelines. Animating beaches is simpler. Blue sky, blue water, yellow sand. That's it. Huge time and money saver. No new monsters, machinery, or sprawling cityscapes. Reused backgrounds, swap uniforms for swimsuits. Dialogue-heavy, action-light episodes are faster and cheaper to produce. If teams fell behind, they could slot a beach ep to catch their breath without missing air dates. A clever production hack. Writers loved it too because it was an excuse to spotlight side characters and develop personality outside of their usual roles. Great way to reset pacing after a huge arc, massive battle, then a chill beach episode to decompress. Hey, we all need a break every now and then. A narrative palate cleanser. Safe space for low-stakes fun and quiet character moments. Patterns emerged. The sprinting, it's the ocean character. The shy towel hider, the swimsuit collector, the inevitable volleyball match. It also became a safe place for fan service, more skin-framed as normal vacation, easier for broadcasters and marketers. Duh. Between budget relief, character development, and fan service, this detour became a staple, part of the unofficial season checklist. After it became mandatory, creators got bored with the basic formula. They knew the audience knew it, so they played with it, subverted it, pushed it to its limits. The beach wasn't just a beach, it became a stage for creative, weird, sometimes brilliant experiments. Writers asked, what else can we do with a beach episode and twisted the trope? You'd think it's fluff, and then bam, sea monster, surprise villain attack, huge plot twist at the campfire. Comedies made fun of the trope, meta lines, terrible rainy beaches, toxic sand, cardboard sets, checklist parodies. It could be simple fun, a vehicle for plot, a parody platform, or deep introspection. Creators used expectations for surprise, humor, and depth. And the beach, bam, evolved into a surprisingly sophisticated tool. No longer just swimsuits and volleyball, it was about creativity. You have the 4 different types. The first type is the pure fan service episode. Classic, old-school model. Plot barely exists. Goal? Show off the characters in swimwear. Visuals do the heavy lifting. Banter fills the rest. Some rewatch, others skip. Second is the plot crasher. Starts fluffy, then suddenly the main plot barges in. Villain attacks. Ocean triggers a dramatic flashback. A massive secret drops. The contrast makes it hit harder, and you're like, whoa, where'd that come from? What? Third, meta, parody. Characters complain about cliches, mock checklists, or find a cardboard beach. Stuff like that. It's all self-aware winking. Finally, the quiet, emotional beach, waves and vast horizons set the tone for grief, fear, or memory. Action drops so character truth can surface. These versions can be incredibly profound. This period expanded what the beach episode could be. It evolved from a production shortcut into a versatile tool. Writers used the audience's expectations for surprise, humor, and depth. It was no longer just about swimsuits, volleyball, it was about creativity. So, what's the deal with the beach episode today, in 2026? It's definitely still a thing. You still see it pop up all the time. But creators and fans are so aware of the trope that it's changed. Some shows skip it to avoid cliches. Others use it cleverly to subvert expectations. The audience is split, half grown at the hint of a beach trip, bracing for filler. The other half gets genuinely excited. I flip-flop between those two extremes, pun intended. For many, it's not filler. It's a welcome break, especially in dark, stressful shows. The phrase escaped into wider nerd culture, shorthand for a fun, self-indulgent pause. I think the beach episode has totally earned its place in anime history. It's stuck around for a reason. It's practical for teams to save time and money. It's great for low-stakes character development. And it's a marketing goldmine. But when done lazily, it feels like a waste, stalling a good story for predictable jokes and fan service. It can feel like the show is treading water, literally. The best beach episodes use the setting with purpose, make you laugh with clever parody, hit you in the feels, or shock you with a twist. The worst are just literally there to fill a slot. Today's creators know the risks and rewards. The beach episode isn't dead, it's evolved. It's a test of creativity. In the end, it's like a ritual, familiar comfort and a challenge. It tells you something about the show you're watching. Is it going to be lazy or clever? A sweet romantic moment? A gut punch of emotion? Or just a bunch of people getting sunburned? The sand and the sun are the same, but the story they tell can be completely different. So, which beach episode is burned into your brain forever? Is it one you absolutely love, or one you wish you could unsee? Let me know in the comments. I'm dying to know.